Well, good morning. Welcome to the Garage Gadgets channel. I'm going to do a video on basic loading, and in this case I'm going to be using 410 shot shells and a Mech 600 Junior version 5 loader. I'll be using Ogden H110 powder, which is a pistol powder, Lyman's Shot Shell Reloading Handbook, and basically this is just, like I said, basically a beginner's way of doing it. There's no custom loads, nothing like that, and it should be interesting. Okay, this is the manual I use for loading shot shell. This is Lyman's 5th edition handbook. And we'll turn to page 221 where they have the 410 gauge with the Winchester high strength plastic cases. That's the AA cases here. They last, you can reload these several times, more than the cheaper ammunition out there. And I'm going to use these 410 HS wads for that. The first thing you do is you find your load data for Winchester high strength plastic cases, and I'm going to use H110, this powder right here, and it calls for for the Winchester HS, it's 15.5 grains of powder with a 410 HS wad. I'm going to use number 9 lead shot. You can use number 8 or even 7.5, but for 410, 9, most people seem to recommend that. This is for skeet, by the way, if I didn't mention that. Maybe I did, maybe I did. So anyway, I wrote down the load data. It's going to be Winchester high HS cases. Powder is H110, 15.5 grains. The primer is a Winchester 209 primer. The wad is a 410 HS primer. Wad. And then the Mech powder dye is a number 11 for 15 grains. It can vary up and down a little bit, but not much. And I'm going to use number 9 lead shot. So let's go ahead and set this up and get loading. Oh, by the way, you're going to take this, you don't need the book anymore, you got this now. So you're just going to leave that there and set up the machine for loading. So the first thing we're going to do here is load the bottles. This is a powder bottle, I have it marked H110 powder. Since this the Mech machine I'm using is dedicated to 410, I don't want to change everything over to 12, so I have 2 machines, one for 12 and one for 410. I just leave them that way because it takes a lot to adjust them. And then this is the bottle for the number 9 shot. So the first thing we do is I'm going to load the powder. Should be enough for this demonstration. And you always leave the powder out so you don't mess up and use 2 different powders at the same time. So when you have it sitting out, you know exactly what you're going to use and what you are using. So that's enough powder for that. Now for the shot. You get this is number 9 shot. You get this, you actually send for it. This one comes in 25-pound bags, which is pretty heavy, so you got to be careful with this. You're going to make a mess. I know I made the messes. Pour a little bit in this. shot, the number 9 shot is in the bottle now. Actually, when you're done loading 410, you can just leave the shot in this bottle. The powder I recommend you put back into the powder container because it will discolor this plastic. I have 2 sets of bottles for this machine and for the 12 gauge, so I can just do that. There we go. Okay, I set the machine up according to the book, and they put it on a, if you don't have a table to put it on, you put it on a piece of plywood and clamp it to wherever you're going to have it, and then you can put it away and save workbench when you're not using it. I put a tray under it. I would recommend to put a tray under it to catch any spills that you have, and you're going to have some spills. I've never had any spills. I doubt it. I've had spills. I know it. So anyway, the first thing you're going to do is attach the bottles. This is the powder bottle. We're going to attach it to this receptacle right here. This is a shot bottle, and we're going to attach to the shot receptacle here. These get heavy when they're full, so I'd be careful when you're attaching these. Then you're going to flip it up, and now the machine is pretty much ready to go. The first thing you're going to do is take a spent shell. This is a AA Winchester shell. Put it on the deprimer station. That's number 1. Down, all the way down, pushes out the primer, and bring it all the way. And it also sizes the metal bottom of the shell, so you can put it back into your shotgun when you're ready to shoot it again. Then you take a primer, put it in the primer station, slide that in. Slide this down, and pushes the primer into the primer pocket here. When that's done, you put it into the powder and shot shell loader. The first thing you're going to do is push it down, push the this over, the bar over, the powder bar over to load the powder that you're going to put into it. In this case, I put in the powder dye number 11 for 15 grains of powder, which what the instructions calls for. And I'm going to check to see, make sure that there's no more than 15 grains in this. So put it on this powder, put it on this scale here. .8 grains. That's pretty good. That's good. No sense of overloading it. So I'll go ahead and put this back in the shot shell case and reinstall it into the. I'll push it down again. Now I'll push in. Oh, almost forgot. Gotta put in the wad next. Put the wad, that, all the way down. Then you can put in the shot for the shotgun shell. There it goes. Yep. Looks good. Looks plenty, not too much. The powder bar and shot bar. This is 1/2 ounce of shot, so it should be always correct for these 410s. Bring it down to the first crimp station. See, it does starts to crimp. Then you're going to put it in the final crimp station. and it's sealed and closed and looks pretty good. So that's your first one. So now we're going to do a couple quick ones here. D-primer. Primer. Powder. Wad. Shot. Starting print. Final print. You got another one. These shells, like I said before, they last probably 5, 6 times, maybe 8. The cheaper shells that you buy, you can load them too, and they will actually last 2 or 3 times, if you're lucky. But this pistol powder is pretty hot for these shells casings, so they kind of burn through it after a while. So there's a second one. So we'll just do another one. Prime. Prime. Powder. Wad. Shot. Finished. Another good shell. Save quite a bit of money on the 410s. On the 12 gauge, not so much. But the problem is components are getting hard to get anymore, and if you can buy the shotgun shells, you're going to pay quite a bit more. So because of the pandemic, of course, but save a little money. And actually, when you shoot 410, which I shoot for skeet, I'm trying to learn that one. I know the 12, and it's hard to get shells at a reasonable price, so you're actually saving money buying reloading these. 12 gauge, not so much, but if you can't get the shells, you might as well reload them, because that's all you can do. That one. So let's do another one. Deprime. Prime. Powder. Wad. Shot. Finished. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my videos, and please subscribe, and if you have any comments, let me know. This is for just a basic
beginners loading on shot shell. If you're going to load bullets for rifles or pistols, it's basically the same. Make sure your recipe is correct and write it down on a piece of paper and bring it to the table with you so you don't make mistakes, because you could lose a hand or an eye if you make a mistake. So thank you for watching.